Hi, it's Judy Meredith. I'm Executive Director of the Public Policy Institute, and I want to welcome you to the first in a series of videoed training modules of our Real Clout sessions that we do for large organizations and small organizations all over the state, teaching them how they in fact can develop real clout and influence public policy that would help them advance social, economic, and racial justice. Welcome and have a great time. Okay, let's start with a little definition of policy. We've got a bunch of policy wonks out there, I'm sure, who really care about policy, but let's talk about and get on the common definition of what policy is. The definition we always use at our Real Clout trainings is that a policy is a rule made up and enforced to control the behavior of people in families, in workplaces, in city, states, or countries. Let's think about that a little bit. I will ask people in my gatherings, tell me about the family policies in your house. And if it's young people, they'll say, we're limited to use our internet for only an hour, or we have to do homework before we can go out, or I have to eat every bite on my plate. A whole bunch of family policies that are made up by and enforced usually by parents. In workplaces, whether it's a hospital or whether it's a nonprofit organization, whether it's a small organization with only 4 people on it, there are always policies about vacation, about sick leave, about showing up on time, about the hours worked, and who makes those policies? Sometimes it's the board of directors, sometimes it's executive directors, sometimes it's departmental supervisors. In the city, state, or in a country like the United States, let's think about who makes the public policy that we all live under. In cities and towns, it's mayors and boards of selectmen. In the state, it's the governor and the legislature. In the United States, it's the president and the United States Congress. So those are the people that make policy in those various sections. Let's talk about how they make policy. And another very highly charged word is politics. So let's figure out how would you define politics? Well, some people have told me, well, politics is based on the Greek word poly, meaning many, and ticks is a 100-legged insect. Well, that's not right. Politics is the process people use to make policy and decide who gets what, where, and when without resorting to physical violence. In fact, politics has been referred to as the Pacific alternative to war. This is the way we in this country, in this representative democracy, make politics. We debate, and we have a process for deciding. That's usually called voting. We have ways of listening to people and getting their input. And the second piece of the slide says, sometimes people look at all the information about a problem and talk to other people before they decide on a solution. Sometimes they decide all by themselves. And that happens in families when moms say, I don't care what you think, you're not going to do it. Period. End of discussion. And sometimes places really make decisions without consulting workers and get themselves into big trouble. And last but not least, yes, even public policy makers try to get away with making a decision without talking to anybody, and they get into trouble too. There's an increased push in this state and across the country for more transparency in the public policy making process, because if there is an open window on the process, there are more opportunities for affected constituents to have a role. Thanks for watching, and I'd really appreciate you emailing us at info@onemassachusetts.org and giving us some suggestions. Have a great day.